guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my September Shop My Stash video. If you're new to a Shop My Stash video, essentially I just pick products from my current makeup collection, essentially shopping through my stash to work on throughout the month of September. So if you're interested in this kind of content, stay tuned. I'll be going through all of the products that I had been focused on or using throughout the month of August, which are obviously currently in the acrylic organizers that you are looking at. And then we will be shopping through my collection for my September products. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel and you like project planning content, or you just like to chit chat about makeup, I would love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. All right guys, so we are clearly at my desk right now. So things have changed just a little bit since my August update. I will have my playlist linked down below. This is obviously the desk that I get ready at. The desk does have 3 drawers. One of the drawers over on this side, which you can't see right now, has all of my project planning content. So I'll leave all of my projects linked down below if you're interested in seeing what products I'm working on in projects. Oh my gosh. If you're interested in seeing what products I'm currently working on in my projects. On this side over here in my desk drawer, I have all of my new products that I have been working on getting a review out or that I'm currently testing. They're just new to my collection. And then obviously I have these everyday acrylic organizers. Over here, you'll see a bunch of palettes. These are all of the palettes that I'm currently focused on for the fall time. I do have a fall palette rotation video that I'll leave linked below, and then up here I have a bunch of new palettes that I'm currently testing. So that's kind of what we have going on up here. Now let's go through all the products that I was working on the last month. I will say I was not great at reaching for makeup. I just did not wear makeup that much in August, but I'm really excited and feeling reinvigorated for September and the fall time to wear makeup more often. Okay, so in this top drawer I have primers and concealers. The 2 that I know I will probably keep in just because in September, who knows what shade I'm going to be. I do love to self-tan even in the winter time, and I love this combination of the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy with the Tula Face Filter primer on days that I don't want to wear foundation, but I'm struggling to match my face to the rest of my body because oftentimes my face is much, much lighter than the rest of my body. So I'm going to keep these 2 in. I am going to be putting back my LYS Secure Skin Gripping Serum Primer. This is newer to my collection this year, and I did reach for this a couple of times, so I would like to rotate in a different primer. And then I also had my e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer, which I reached for 1 or 2 times. Not that many, but I am going to also be rotating this out because I do have a couple other primers that I want to rotate in, and then I'm also working on some primers in separate projects. I have this primer from Tarte. This is a pore filling primer, and I really enjoy using this on my forehead. I'm going to keep this in. This is the Timeless Smoothing Primer. So I will just continue to work on this. I don't use that much of this when I use this. I use this almost every single time I did my makeup, and I feel like it doesn't look like I've touched it really at all. So we're going to keep that in. For concealers, I had my Hourglass concealer, which I used a couple of times, but I think I'm going to keep this in for another rotation just because I haven't gotten a ton of use out of this yet this year. And then I am going to be putting back my Laura Mercier concealer. This I thought I got a great shade for me, and I feel like it's not the best shade, but I did reach for this a ton. I kind of mixed it with my Kosas concealer and made it work, so I am ready to put this back. Then I also just have my under eye brightening corrector from Becca in here that I'm just going to permanently keep in until I finish it. I do really enjoy this for brightening underneath the eyes, and obviously I've had this in my collection for a while. Becca's going out of business, and it's time to just try and use it up. So this will just be in this drawer until it's done. In the next drawer down, I have all of my foundations. I am going to be keeping in this combo. I have been using this so much this entire year, but I really want to finish my Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation, and I love the way that my Rare Beauty mixes with it. This one's too dark for me usually, unless I'm self-tan, and this is way too light for me. So I do just want to keep this in, even though this combination has gotten definitely the most use out of me this year, but I want to keep this in until this is done. I will be putting back both my LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I used this a couple of times. I really enjoy this, but it's definitely deep, and I would need to mix this. I don't know if I'm planning to do a ton of self-tanning for the fall. We'll see. But I'm also going to be putting back my Dior Forever Skin Glow. Again, this is more of my summertime shade, and definitely a glowier product, whereas now I might want to reach for more of like a natural or satin matte sort of finish. This I just grabbed to use a couple of days. This is my regular Dior Forever. This wasn't something I originally rotated into my Shop My Stash, but I am going to keep this in because I just freaking love the way that this looks, and I've been wanting to reach for this, so I'll just be keeping this one in. And then also putting back my Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection. I did reach for this quite a bit the last couple of months. And then the MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body. I reached for a couple of times this last month, but I am ready to rotate in a different skin tint to replace that one. All right, up in this drawer up here. Sorry, my camera's being super weird and my tripod is not moving with me, so that's why I'm not like zooming in as much. Up here I have my Hourglass Luminous Light Powder. I'm just going to permanently keep this one in as well. It's not a powder I reach for every day, but I am trying to finish this one up, so I would just like to leave this one in. I also just have my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I love this. This is something I just want to permanently have like easily accessible to reach, so I will be keeping this in. I will put back my Dior Powder No Powder. I did reach for this quite a few times and I love this powder. I think it's really, really beautiful, but I'm going to put this back because I do want to just focus on my Kosas Cloud Set Powder. I've also really been enjoying this. I was on the fence about this. Mine has terrible hard pan, which I've slowly been scraping away. I was on the fence about this, partially I think due to the hard pan. I don't know if that's my fault or not. I feel like I've seen quite a few people have hard pan issues with this powder, but it's beautiful. Like this part, it looks so beautiful on the skin, and I'm coming around to like feeling like I may actually love this powder and be super excited to repurchase this. I feel like this is something that could replace my Hourglass powder, which I don't love the Hourglass powder and probably wouldn't have repurchased it anyway. However, there are days that I really do love having that, and I've been looking for something really similar. And this gives just not a radiance to the skin, but almost like a healthy glow without being a glow. I know that makes no sense, but I've just really been enjoying this. I'm going to keep this in, and I'm going to be putting back my Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. I'm currently working on my Glossier Water in my project pan, and I just have not been loving loose powders as much as pressed powders lately, so I think I'm just ready to put this back for a while. The next drawer is my bronzer drawer. I am going to be putting back my Huda Glowish bronzer. I absolutely love this, but if I don't put this back, this is like the only thing I'll reach for, so I need to put this away. I'm also going to be putting back my Cover FX Sun-Kissed Bronzing Duo. This is really pigmented and definitely suits me best in the summertime. I'm a little bit disappointed. I feel like I didn't reach for this as much as I wanted to this past summer, but I am ready to put this back. I also will be putting back my Huda Tantour Cream Bronzing Tantour Contour and Bronzer Cream. I didn't reach for this all that much, but I don't... maybe I should leave this in. Because this... I actually will leave this in. This is more like full coverage for a cream product, and I could see myself actually getting quite a bit of use out of this in the fall winter. So I'll leave this guy in. I will, however, be putting back my Tower 28 Bronzino bronzer, cream bronzer in the shade West Coast. This is definitely more of a summertime bronzer because it is more red toned. I got a decent amount of use out of this summer, and I'm ready to put this back. Be keeping in my Vive Bronzing Duo. I have mine in the shade Medium 1/Medium 2, or possibly just in medium. I put this in my rotation after I finished reviewing it. I love this so much. It is so finely milled and so smooth on the skin and just so beautiful. I've been loving this, so I want to keep using it. Okay, in here we have my blushes, and this is a little bit wild. So this is gonna get... Like I said, I didn't wear makeup that much, so I feel like I didn't do a great job of rotating through all this, but I do know I will be putting away Buxom Mykonos. This is definitely more of a summertime shade. I'm also going to put away my MAC Glow Play in the shade Cheer Up. I did get some use out of this summer. Again, more of a summertime shade. I will also be putting away my MAC Fairly Precious. This is beautiful. I got so much use out of this. And even though I think I could get away with this in the fall winter, I'm really wanting to pull my Melt blush that kind of reminds me of this. So I'm going to put this back. I'll also be putting back my Cover FX Duo in Soft Peach. Yes, in Soft Peach, and I'll be replacing this with the Warm Honey version. Rare Beauty Joy, I did not reach for enough, but this is definitely more of a summertime shade for me, so I'm gonna put this back. I'll also be putting back the Bite Beauty Melon Mojito. Again, this is more of a summertime shade in that it is more glowy. I might pull this back out before the end of the year, but I'm putting it back for now. I think I'm gonna keep in ColourPop Melrose just because it's a really beautiful bronze shade that I think will be pretty for the fall time. I will be putting back my Bare Minerals Kiss of Copper. This has gotten so much use since I purchased this. So even though I could definitely see myself creating some really beautiful like fall, like this would match any fall tone look as well. Actually, oh, I just see this pairing so nicely with fall eyeshadow looks. I'm gonna keep this in. This has gotten so much use, but oh well. I am gonna put back Becca Songbird as well as Lawless Angel Suede. This got so much use out of me, and I did reach for this one a couple of times, so I'm satisfied with that. I'll also be putting back Odin's Eye Apricot Girl. I'm gonna keep Melt Golden Hour in because I think this could also be beautiful for a fall toned look. My NARS face palette I didn't reach for one time, so I feel like I should leave this in and try and reach for honestly either of these two shades. I could see looking really beautiful in the fall. I did not reach for my Natasha Denona Duo. I think I'm gonna put this in my highlight drawer because I would like to use this highlight, but this blush shade I definitely feel like was more of a spring summer toned shade. Patrick Todd, Do We Know Her, I reached for a couple of times, and this is definitely more summertime vibes for me, so I'm gonna put this back. I am gonna keep in Becca Wild Honey. Again, I love kind of this nude tone for the fall. I'll be putting back both of my Milani Cheek Kiss in Coral Crush as well as my RMS Beauty Lip to Cheek in the shade Promise. These were more, Promise could be beautiful for the fall. I'm gonna keep Promise in. And then this is something I really would like to pan before the end of the year. I think I'm going to roll this into a Partners in Cream hopefully before the end of the year. So I'm gonna keep this in to kind of remind me of that. This is the Maybelline Cheek Heat in Rose Flush. Next, we have a very, very full highlighter drawer as well, and I'm gonna put back most everything in here. So Kaleidos Ray Rider, I used a couple of times. Pixie Glowy Gossamer Duo, really intense. I'm just ready to put this away for a bit. Persona Zuma, definitely also very intense and more just like a summer toned highlight for me. Jaclyn Hill Mesmerize, I am ready to put back. This is deeper and I don't think it'll work for me here in the fall winter. Both my Dose of Colors highlighters I am ready to put back. These are super intense and I'm ready to be done with these. ABH Amrezy, I feel like this has been in for like 2 rotations, but a part of me wants to leave this for 1 more rotation, so I think I'm gonna do just that. I did not reach for my Artist Couture Summer Haze Diamond Glow Powder, so I actually think I might leave this in. Even though this is like more summer vibes for me, I would like to reach for this, so I'm gonna put this back. I'm gonna leave in my Lisa Eldridge liquid highlight, but I am gonna put back my Iconic London one. I've had my Iconic London one in for a couple rotations, and I'm ready to be done with this. Mary Lou I reached for a couple of times. I feel like I think I'm gonna leave this one in 1 more rotation as well. I feel like I got the most use out of my Dior Nude Luminizer in the shade 1, so I'm ready to put this back, putting back Buxom White Russian. In this drawer right here, I have face palettes, which I did not do a good job of reaching for again. I think I might put back my NARS Overlust just for right now, even though this could be really beautiful for fall. You know what, I'm gonna leave all my face palettes. So I also have Becca Après Ski Glow. Kind of want to do a pan that face palette on this. Would you guys be interested? I kind of want to do a pan that face palette on this, wondering if you guys would be interested. I don't know why I feel inclined to do that, but it's just something that I've been thinking about. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, but I'm going to keep this in. The bottom drawer is a little bit random. It just has a couple of my ABH palettes and then a single from Urban Decay. We're ignoring this, but those are all the products that I was focused on throughout the month of August, and now it is officially time to shop my stash. Alrighty, we are over in my makeup drawers ready to shop my stash. So up in this first drawer, we have primers, concealers, mascara, and powder. We have a lot going on in this drawer. And I think I'm not gonna grab a ton because I am working on a couple of primers in project pans, but I have been really itching to grab this and reach for this a little bit more, just because I have been having more dry skin lately and really been craving a hydrating primer. Sometimes I'll even put this on before I start to do my eyeshadow. Usually I do my eyeshadow and then I do my face. So I let this sink in and then I go over top with another like pore filling primer. So I'm gonna grab this one. It is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. And then I think I'm actually just gonna grab this primer and call it good here. And then it's been a little bit since I have reached for my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder foundation, which I really do like to use just as a setting powder, a pressed setting powder. So I'll grab this for powder, call it good for powder. For concealer, what do I want to do? It's been a little bit since I reached for my Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer, so I think I will grab this. And I'm for some reason wanting to reach for my Dior Forever concealer, even though I feel like I reached for this quite a bit this summer. I'm gonna pull this one back in and try and get some more use out of this as well. And then I don't need any new mascara, so that is gonna be it for this drawer. Okay, the next drawer down is my foundation slash skin tint. So I have all of my skin tints over here, and then I have my foundations over here. I have been itching to reach for my Giorgio Armani Neo Nude, so I am going to grab this and pull this in. This is one of my favorite foundations in my entire collection. And then I am also going to grab the e.l.f. Camo CC cream, just because it's been a while since I've reached for this one as well. And then I think, oh, there's a few other foundations that I'm currently trying. Do I want to grab any light coverage? I think I will grab my Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation for days that I am looking for a lighter coverage foundation. This is just a little bit glowy, a little bit more glowy than I typically prefer, but I'll pull this out and see if I can make this work, or see what I think. As my skin is a little bit more dry, maybe I'll really enjoy this. So I'm gonna grab this and then we'll call it good for this drawer. All right, next we are moving into my bronzer drawer. I do have some bronzers I'm working on throughout various projects, but I'm going to grab, I do actually really wanna grab my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter Duo. I reached for this the other day because I felt like I had barely reached for this at all this year, and I forgot how much I really enjoy the bronzer in this, and I actually feel like I'd really enjoy the highlighter because it's a little bit more subtle, which is definitely what I have been preferring lately. So I'm gonna grab this, and then I also am gonna grab my Patrick Ta She's Sculpted Duo, just because I haven't been self-tanning as aggressively, so I feel like I'll like how this looks better on me now. And then I'll also grab my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand, just because it's been a little bit since I've reached for this, and I feel like this is more, it's not as warm as a lot of my other cream bronzers, obviously, because it's more of a contouring product. So I'll grab this, and I think we'll call it good for this drawer. Okay, moving into my blush drawer, I definitely have some blushes I'm really excited to grab. So for my cream and liquid options, I'm going to be grabbing my Florence Zen Z cream blush. I actually really like this formula, and I think this will be beautiful for this time of year. And then I'm also going to grab my Danessa Myricks Color Fix in the shade Cupcake. Again, another really beautiful sort of mauve toned shade, which I love this time of year. For blush, I know I want to grab both of these. So up first I have my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Intense, which is a really beautiful deeper mauve toned shade. I love this time of year. And then also my Melt Raw Honey Blush Duo. I love this as a highlighter, or just like a glowier, a highlighter. And then I love this as like a glowy mauve toned blush. I was like, what am I trying to say? I absolutely love this product. I wasn't sure of this when I first got it, but this is something that I really enjoyed as I used it more, so I'm really excited to play around with this again. I'm also going to be reaching for my Buxom Dolly Blush. This is the Wanderlust formula, which is one of my favorites, and again, can you guys tell? It's a vibe with the blush shades. And then I'm also going to grab my Kylie Close to Perfect blush. Obviously this was before she rebranded. I don't know if she has blushes in her new line yet, but I absolutely love this blush formula because it's not that pigmented, definitely more of a buildable formula, and it just looks really nice and natural on the cheeks. So I'm really excited to reach for this. And then I think we'll call it good oh no. Okay, a couple more because you can never have enough blush. I am gonna grab my Cover FX Warm Honey Duo. Again, it's a vibe. And then I'm also gonna grab my Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Love, which is this really beautiful, like terracotta sort of shade for this time of year. And then we will truly call it good for this drawer. Next up, we have my highlight drawer. I always feel like I never have that many highlights, but then when I do like my makeup inventory, I'm like, okay, I have actually a ton of highlights. What do I wanna grab? I think I'm definitely gonna grab my Makeup Forever highlighter in the shade 1. It's a really beautiful like pink shade. It is a little bit icy, but if I am more fair, which I again don't plan to self tan as aggressively, I think this will look really, really beautiful. And I've also had this for a long time, so would like to maybe start thinking about maybe putting this in a project pan next year and getting a head start on it. I also have barely reached for my Natasha Denona glow highlighter in the shade 1 this year. I had such a good pan on this. I think 2 years ago is when I originally panned it, potentially, I think. So I would like to just try and get some more use on this. And I'm gonna roll this in, and I think I actually might call it good with just these 2 highlighters to focus on, plus anything that I have rolling over. Okay, and then housed over in my drawers over here are my like mini palettes up top, like my smaller palettes. Here's my lip gloss drawer. I normally don't choose like lip products. I normally don't roll them into Shop My Stash rotations, but I think I might do that and just try and like have a couple of focus lip products just to try and be a little bit better about focusing on specific lip products. So these are the ones that these are the lip glosses, I should say, that I really want to try and get some use on. I have Bite Beauty Dirty Chai. I need to use up my Bite Beauty French Press lip glosses because obviously they could expire very soon, or they're probably already expired, but I feel safe putting on my lips because I haven't noticed any like change in scent. Also, you guys know I love the Lawless Forget the Filler lip plumping gloss, and I'm going to focus on the shade Velvet, which is a really beautiful color for this time of year. And then I have NARS Santo Domingo. This is one of the vinyl lip lacquers. And then finally, I have another Bite Beauty gloss. This is the Yay Slayer plumping lip gloss in the shade Cinnamon Twist. So I'm gonna grab these 4 glosses and try and just get a little bit of extra use out of these, or just focus on these ones. Would love to finish this by the end of the year, even though I know I still have quite a bit of product left. Into my liquid lipstick drawer, I'm gonna choose 5 liquid lipsticks, and if I would just be happy if I wore each of these 1 time in the next month. So I have the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint in the shade Uncuffed. I have the Beauty Bakery liquid lipstick in the shade Ginger Snap. I love the shade on this, don't love the formula. I have the Kylie Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Ginger. Then I also have Dose of Colors Merlot, as well as a Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in Unicorn Blood. This is probably expired and I probably need to just declutter this, but I would like to use it 1 time and kind of make my final decision. So these 5 are going to be the 5 liquid lipsticks I would like to at least use 1 time, and we'll see if I reach for anything else in that time frame as well. In the bottom 2 drawers, I have my like single shadows. I think I'll grab 2 single shadows I'd also like to get some extra use out of. So here's just a little Natasha Denona single out of, I think, the mini Zendo palette. I'm not really sure. I don't even know what the shade of this is, but I'll try and get a little bit of use out of this. And then I have one of the Essence Melted Chrome Pots. This is the shade Zinc About You, which obviously mine looks a little bit destroyed. But it's a really beautiful sort of pinkish mauve shade that I think will pair really nicely with a lot of the mauve tone looks I have in mind for the upcoming month. So I'm really excited about this. And then maybe I'm also going to grab this one from Hourglass. It is in it's one of the Scattered Lights in the shade Vivid, which is this green shade. This is like my jam this time of year as well, and I really suck at reaching for these types of products. And then I also just grabbed my Essence Metal Shock liquid shadow as well. I think this will serve as a really beautiful base for those mauve tone looks that I'm looking for as well. And I also am really bad at reaching for my liquid shadows. I don't have a lot left, so it'd be nice to get some extra use out of this. All right, you guys, after that, that is going to wrap it up for today's Shop My Stash video. I have the products I need to clear off my desk that are going back in their drawers, and I have refilled my I have refilled my acrylic organizers with my new products for the next month. I'm really excited about this new rotation, and I'm hoping to wear makeup a little bit more throughout the month of October, or throughout the month of September. Cannot speak today. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel. Let me know what products you have pulled out to reach for this next month or for the fall time. I would love to hear from you guys. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.